The rand still trading in that range, just around that 690 range, 691 this morning, and it seems to be finding some support at this level for the currency.
Yes, the rand is oscillating between 685 to 693 in the past two trading sessions, which really illustrates that the rand bulls are possibly losing steam towards 685. But on the other hand, it's also an indication that there is not enough conviction for a move beyond the 7 rand psychological handle to the top side. The rand has taken the bulk of its direction from offshore developments, particularly that of the oil price and euro-dollar movements as well. Given today's surprise trade deficit out of China, this could potentially encourage rand bulls, given that the demand for Chinese raw materials from countries like South Africa continues to grow rapidly, and this bodes well for the South Africa's trade and current account balances. We expect a trading range of about 685 to 695 to the dollar today.
Shireen, just looking at the euro-dollar, because we've had some developments out of the eurozone. Last week we had the euro on the front foot when we had that indication of interest rates rising in that economy. This week, though, peripheral debt issues again in Europe. And yesterday we had a Portuguese debt auction, had to pay an exorbitant premium for that debt. So it looks like some concerns here which are weighing on the euro this week.
Indeed, but we do expect that we have seen the top end of the strength of the currency. We expect it to continue weakening, which is really an indication of some kind of dollar strength and really underscores our move for a weaker currency on the rand.
Mining and manufacturing numbers out today. Starting with that manufacturing number, we've already had the PMI numbers out for January and for February. We saw a pretty good rise in January, smaller rise in February. How does this bode for our manufacturing number? And I think it says January's number we're looking at today.
Expected to come out at about 2% growth year on year from December. We saw a very marginal increase of about 0.2% in December. But given that the PMI numbers have increased quite considerably and the indication from the employment index particularly is supporting the manufacturing sector, we see that the manufacturing sector in the coming months could bode well for South African growth.
How about the mining sector? Where do you see that sector going when we get those numbers out today?
The mining sector fared fairly well in the final quarter of last year. We expect growth to come in quite nicely in January on the back of the fact that commodity prices, particularly that of precious metals and semi-precious metals, continue to increase. We saw an increase in the production of gold, platinum, coal and diamonds as well. So we expect that to continue in January.
And then just to repeat, the rand short-term movements, where would you expect it to go from the current levels?
We expect a range of about 685 to 695, but pressuring to the 7 rand handle as well.